So we're on our way down the Alaska Highway. We're between Kluane Lake. Actually, we're paralleling Kluane Lake on our way to Beaver Creek. We just left Destruction Bay. And you can see what the road conditions are like. They're usually pretty good, but every once in a while you'll see one of those orange flags on the side of the road, and that indicates an area where the road is bumpy. It's usually not too bad. We're taking them at about usually 40 to 50 miles an hour. The speed limit is about 55 or about 90 kilometers an hour. So it doesn't slow us down a whole lot, but you do have to kind of keep an eye out for the occasional surprise. But certainly not as bad as many of the horror stories that we'd heard. Most of the bad areas are marked, but every once in a while there's one that isn't. Sure, here's another patched area. You know, when they patch these, they don't lay down new concrete. This one looks like it was done pretty recently. They just throw some asphalt down and grade it, and that's the patch job. So you've got lots of stretches of good concrete broken up by short areas where there's been patches, but overall it's not too bad. This is what the Alcan looks like more typically. We're still between we just left Burwash Landing on our way to Beaver Creek, and most of the highway's been just like this. It looks like it's relatively recently paved. It's in good shape. You still get the occasional bump once in a while, but really nothing to worry about. Not a lot of traffic either, which I'm really enjoying. There's one RV ahead of us that we're kind of following, but you pass a car every once in a while, but pretty much many stretches you have the highway completely to yourself. This is nice and smooth here. So north of kilometer post 1755, between here and Beaver Creek, is supposed to be the worst section of the Alcan. And indeed, we found quite a few frost heaves. There's a lot of places where there are rough spots in the road. Most of them look like they've been patched. There was a sign that said a rough road for about 20 kilometers. I don't know if you can see, there's lots of areas where there's potholes that have been circled in green and patched. So it's a little rougher than it was before. We're going about 40 miles an hour, about 63 kilometers an hour through this stretch. Nothing bad as long as you just take it a little bit slower than usual. You do get some pretty good bumps though. The flags are definitely more frequent through this section of the roadway, but at least it's marked, so we had plenty of warning.
Even some of the places that they have already fixed are still pretty bumpy.
Yeah, this might have been fixed last summer for all we know, and gotten worse since then. It's hard to tell. Pretty big bump there.
Yeah, it's just, there's another section where it looks like they have.
Yeah, it looks like they've just dug up the whole road. There's a whole mound of dirt and rock where they did that. The speed limit here is 30 kilometers an hour, which is really slow. It's about 20 miles an hour. See a crane working down there.
Yeah, there's just this huge pile of
that's
dirt where the road is supposed to be.
That's the road right there. I guess they've just dug it up. So they are in the process of improving this. It hasn't actually been too bad since we had that 20-kilometer long stretch a little while ago. This is pretty rough. Just going slow.
Looks like they're maybe digging a culvert or something.
Yeah. Maybe exactly what they're doing. Wow, look at that.
That's where the road was.
That's a major project right there.
And they must have done this on the other side of the road also, because there's traffic coming on the opposing lanes, but we're not sharing the road with them, so they had to have done that on the other side.
It looks like
there had to be a detour on their side also.
No, there's not. Look at that. That's weird, because usually they have a pilot car anytime that there's a one-way section of the road. and they stopped traffic so the traffic can only go through one way. That's interesting because we could have met that guy down there on the detour, and I guess that would have been interesting. I guess it's wide enough that we could have passed each other, but I'm glad we didn't have to.
Yeah, and now the road's fine again. So
I think this is what frost heaves look like. We just passed the U.S. border control station, coming into Alaska, and the road looks like it was just rippled like a ribbon. So we're going nice and slow through this part.
but at least it's smooth. It's smoother than the Alcan was on the Canada side.
So far anyway.